Welcome back, everybody, to the second episode of the Caffeinated Guy podcast. In this episode, I'm just going to be running through a list of things that I hate or dislike. So let's get right into it. So, the first thing is tough guys who wear earrings. Now, hear me out on this, right? If you're a guy and you want to wear earrings for whatever reason, self-expression, like whatever reason, that's fine. I don't have a problem with that. It's I'm talking about the type of guys that act all tough and they have piercings and ear piercings and whatnot, and they just think they're the hottest shit. They're always looking for fights and whatnot. So those are the type of guys that I have somewhat of a problem with, right? And hear me out on this, right? So could you imagine getting into a fight with a guy like that and you're like, all right, he wants to fight, let's get it. So you're like, all right, I'm ready, bring it on. And he's like, oh, one sec, hold on, let me take off my earrings. Hey, Keith, could you hold on to my earrings real quick? And Keith's like, yo, Chad, you said, we were going to get our nails done. What the hell? Why are you fighting? And he's like, oh, yeah, we'll get our nails done. Let me just fight this guy. He takes his earrings off. He's like, yeah, I got these from Jared. I don't want these getting damaged or anything. Like, come on, my guy. You're going to act tough. At that point, I think Chad has just won the fight because I would be on the ground crying from laughter. I just can't imagine fighting a guy that has to wait, take his earrings off, and then be like, all right, I'm ready, bring it on. It's just the wildest thing to me. Next on the list is people who pronounce the L in salmon. It's not salmon, okay? And literally, my parents do that, and it makes me cringe every single time they do it. Like, I'm like, oh, you guys want sushi? And they're like, oh, yeah, what kind? I'm like, oh, salmon, tuna, what do you want? And they're like, oh, salmon? And I'm like, oh my goodness. I, it's salmon, okay? It's salmon. There's no question about it. It's salmon. Please pronounce it as salmon. Just don't, okay? Next on the list would be girls who don't appreciate guys and then wonder why they stopped trying. Ladies, I'm going to be honest with you. Guys I'm not going to speak for all guys, but most guys will try their absolute hardest to get your attention, your affection, all that good stuff. So don't try to play hard to get all the time. Like, okay, it's once or twice, that's fine. I understand. You got to do your thing, I guess. I don't know, whatever. But like, at one point, the free trial is gonna expire, okay? And once the free trial expires, you're done for. That's the free trial period, right? After 3 weeks, I'd say 3 weeks. That's your trial period's done, okay? So don't be shocked when you've been ghosting a guy for 3 weeks and suddenly he's not texting you all the time anymore, okay? Because like you just don't do that. Just be an adult about it, please. It's the dumbest thing, especially in today's day and age when everybody's just out to play games, and then when they get played, they're like, holy shit, what happened? What happened? I thought I was winning. Is this a glitch in the Matrix? What the hell is going on? It's just don't do it. Please save both of yourselves sometimes. If you have feelings for the person, just say it. If you don't have feelings, just say it. Save each other some time. Like, it's just everybody has 24 hours in a day, okay? I don't know a single person out there that has 25 hours in a day and that's like, oh yeah, I have 25 hours in a day. I can definitely make time. No, everybody has 24 hours in a day. If a guy or a girl makes time for you, please appreciate that. If you can't make it, just let them know right off the bat. Don't wait till the last minute to let them know. That's just very unprofessional. I don't want to say unprofessional because it's not a business transaction or anything, but I'm going to say like it's not, those aren't good manners. If you can't make it, just say you can't make it, and if you can make it, don't cancel the last minute, okay? All right, what else we got? People who purposefully wait long to text back. I never understood that because I've actually talked to both guys and girls, and they're like, oh, we don't want to sound like we're too needy. or that we're giving them too much attention. So let me just whip out my TI-84 really quick, plug in this equation, and calculate the proper time needed for me to text back so that way I don't look needy. Like, that just doesn't make any sense to me. I just feel as though there's a better use of your time than just sitting in front of your phone and waiting out the time that you have to text back to not look needy, if that's the right way of saying it. Like, I understand if, like, you actually have stuff to do and you can't start a conversation at that point that you're not going to be able to finish, but then just do just that. Like, don't start a conversation and just leave it. You know what I mean? Just, if you can't make it, just don't initiate it. You can't just be like, oh, we're having a really good conversation, we're having some really good exchange of ideas, they're talking about something they're passionate about, whatnot, and then just out of nowhere, just complete cold turkey, they're just completely gone. You don't hear back from them for a while, and you're just like, oh shit, I mean, when it comes to texting, I want that OG Amazon Prime next day delivery. Like, at the latest, just text me the next day. There is no fucking way that you're working 24 hours a day that you can't find time to text back. And I'm not talking this just in the sense of, like, relationships and whatnot. This is, like, also, like, when it comes to friends. Like, why are you ghosting your friend? Like, just because it's, like, I don't know. Like, you make plans to hang out with your friends, and then instead of just saying, oh, I can't go, you just don't respond. Because, that's the very adult thing to do nowadays. You just don't respond because, adult things, I guess. I never understood the whole concept of waiting long to text back. Some of this stuff just doesn't make sense to me to this day, and I've been living in the US for, I'd say, a good chunk of my life. I'd say about, I don't know, 16, 17 years now, and I still haven't figured stuff like this out. I just don't understand. You see people in Pakistan talking to one another in person, and they have their Nokias in their other hand just fucking texting without even looking, and I'm like, holy shit, now that's a skill. So if they can do that, and Pakistan is a third world country, I guess, I don't know, I mean, I think it's pretty nice. If they can do that, I don't understand why people here can't do that. It's just fucking math equations and not being needy. What's the whole point of, like, not being needy? Let's talk relationship wise for a second, right? If you're interested in a person, wouldn't you want to show them you're interested? What's this whole point with, I can't be too interested? I didn't think there was, like, like a gas tank gauge of being interested where it's like, oh, I don't want to be the full interested, I don't want to be the empty interested, I want to be that OG right in the middle where they can't tell if I'm interested or not, and then they lose interest, and then I'm like, oh wait, I was interested 3 years later. I just never understood that. You're either interested or you're not interested. There's no in between in my book anyway. I don't know how the hell you guys do it, but I just don't understand stuff like that. It just baffles me to this day, where I'm just wondering, like, what the hell is going on? Alright, moving on. People who don't clean after themselves. Okay, this is a big pet peeve of mine. Like, it's one thing where it's like, you're disorganized. Okay, I can understand that. My notes and, like, shit like that in my room are all over the place. But I don't understand people that leave trash everywhere in their room or in other people's houses. Like, me and a buddy of mine were talking about this like a week ago, I believe. And, like, we were just talking about how it's like, how do people function like that, where they just leave their trash everywhere? Again, I'm saying trash because it's like they finish a snack or whatnot, And instead of just being an adult and just getting up and throwing it out, they just leave it there. I feel as though after you cross that 20-year mark, you should start making some changes that, separate you from the fucking toddlers out there, Like, clean up after yourselves, please. It's not that hard. Like, even if you're at the point where you're so busy and invested in what you're doing that you can't clean up after yourselves right then and there, please at least do it at the end of the day, or at the very latest at the morning of the next day. It's just very wrong, I'd say, to just like leave your trash everywhere. And like it's not just that, because those habits carry over. You're gonna go over to a friend's house and their friend's parents are gonna be super nice and they're gonna be like, oh honey, please treat this like your own house. And then you're like, oh, all right, bet. And then you just start shitting everywhere. Like, no, that's not what they meant. They just meant, like, don't hold back if you need anything, just ask and whatnot. And wait, okay, quick segue. I never understood that, because people who come over to my house and my parents say, "Oh, treat this like your house," they still get better treatment than what I do in my own house. Like, I fucking breathe too loud, and my parents are yelling at me from across the room. Meanwhile, my friends are all over the place, and they're like, "Huh, boys will be boys," and I'm like, Anyway, moving on. People who chew loudly. I swear, if you chew loudly, it is the most infuriating and disgusting thing that you could, I'd say, ever experience. It's just like ear rape at that point. Because you're just, you're enjoying your meal, having some good conversations, and in the background you just hear... For all those listening right now, how savory does that sound? Just somebody doing that in the background while you're having a conversation. I swear, it is the most annoying thing in the world. Just hearing somebody chew loudly in the background. It's like every YouTube mukbang bass boosted to the point where you literally hear the saliva leaving their lips. I swear, that's what I imagine when somebody online in an online multiplayer video game roasts me, and I just imagine this fat ass guy sitting behind his keyboard just chewing on some Doritos really loudly, like, he's so bad. Oh, I'm gonna go make love to my body pillow now. Like, just don't chew loudly, please, for the love of God. Just don't chew loudly. It is very, very extremely annoying. Okay, moving on. I don't want to spend too much time on one topic. I didn't even know how long this podcast or whatnot, like this episode, is gonna be, to be honest. I just want to, like, some people have podcasts that are like an hour long. I don't think I can talk for an hour, at least not by myself anyway, so I'm just gonna try my best out here, alright? So, the next thing I hate is people who chase branded clothing specifically. Okay, I can understand if you want a shirt because you're like, oh, that shirt really looks good, and it could be a Gucci shirt or whatnot. But personally, I just don't understand people that would rather have like a $500 Supreme t-shirt but not be able to afford a car. Like, I've actually had the displeasure of meeting some people who literally are like, oh yeah, I got the Supreme t-shirt, I got the Gucci handbag, shit like that, whatnot, and they flex all their total wardrobe is worth more than I'd say like a semester in my college tuition, and then you're like, oh, okay, well, how about your car, your insurance, other expenses, and then they're like, yeah, we don't drive, because we're chasing that moolah, we're getting that bread. And I'm like, getting that bread? You don't have a car? And they're like, nah, bruh, we don't need a car. Who needs a car when you have a Gucci belt? A Gucci belt My dad don't care which belt he beat me with. Forget a Gucci belt. He can beat me with a freaking Marshall's $2.99 belt and I'd still feel the same pain. Like, I don't understand how a belt or like one shirt is going to change your entire life to the point where you'd rather get that product than, invest more towards your basic needs. Like more towards something that you're going to use throughout your life, like a car, or maybe, I don't know, invest towards buying a house. Forget even a house, just save up that money, pay rent, or just save up that money, period. It could come in handy on a rainy day. Like, I don't understand people that just chase brand clothing for the purpose of showing off. I'm going to be honest with you guys. I don't really like the branded clothing that's going around nowadays. Like, it's a basic t-shirt with a Gucci logo on it. Like, you're just chasing the logo at that point. Like, it's not even a good t-shirt. It's just a basic white like, for example, let's take, I don't know these branded clothing, but I saw one Gucci t-shirt online, right? Basic t-shirt, literally basic white t-shirt, just had the Gucci logo on it, and then like a cool like tribal green and yellow and reddish pattern on the front that like merged into the center, and then in the center you had the Gucci logo. Like, okay, that looks cool and whatnot. I'm still not gonna pay the price they're asking for. I don't even know how much it was worth, but it's probably more than what I make in a fucking week. Like, why would you want that? I just don't understand. And ladies out there, I understand you wanting to buy like a good handbag and whatnot, but if you're buying it to impress people, are people really going to be impressed by a good handbag, or the fact that, you drive and you have money saved up, and, that you invest towards other things and other, stuff that makes... Hey, if buying expensive clothing makes you happy, go for it. I don't want to really say don't go for something that doesn't make you happy, but do it when you actually have the money. Don't, just get your paycheck and immediately go shopping and spend your entire paycheck. Save that, There might be a rainy day every now and then where you'll need the money. You might, I was going to say you might have car troubles that you need to pay for, but some of the people I run into can't even afford cars because they just spend their money on their clothing. Like, I don't understand. Like, just invest on yourself, but not just like clothing wise. Like, okay. And lastly, actually not lastly, because I just thought of another one, but I'll go over that last. Next, we have people who do nice things to get something out of it. Okay. Okay, guys, I'm sorry, but I'm going to have to accuse you on this for the most part. I do know some girls do this too, but I've just seen it mostly with guys. I'm sorry, but I'm going to have to call you out on this. Don't be nice to a girl just because you think you're going to get something out of it. Like, but Waleed, I opened the door for a girl like 3 times. Why haven't I had sex with her yet? These are the type of guys that can't even get their dick wet in a pool. Alright? Like, my guy, if you're doing something nice, do it for the purpose of doing something nice. You have that good feeling of helping somebody in need out. And this just doesn't have to be on, like just opening doors for somebody, obviously. But like, for example, if somebody is struggling to do their homework and you know how to do the homework, or if somebody's struggling in a class and they don't understand the concepts and whatnot, and you do, just help them out for the purpose of helping them out. Like, if they appreciate what you did for them, I'm not gonna go out and say this and they're gonna like pity fuck you or whatnot, but like, just do it for the purpose of helping them out, because they will appreciate it. Like, they're in their head, they're gonna be thinking, man, this person went out of their way just to help me out because I was struggling. That is a super nice thing that they did for me, It's not just like, oh, but Waleed, I helped her do her homework and she didn't even get undressed. What the hell? Like, no, that's not how it works. If you're going to help somebody out, do it for the purpose of helping them out. Don't do it because you want to get something out of it. Like, you should, like, you having the satisfaction of helped somebody in need out should be enough for you to help them out. I hope I worded that properly, and I hope you guys understand what I'm trying to say. But like, if you're helping somebody out, just do it for the purpose of helping them out. You know, it shouldn't be a materialistic gain for you. You know, like you shouldn't be trying to seek anything out of it other than the fact that you help somebody in need out. That why is that not enough? You know, why can't you just help somebody out and be like, you know what? I feel good about helping that person out. That's it. Why do you have to get something out of it? That's just so materialistic and wrong in my mind. And then lastly, this is the thing I was thinking of. People who treat hotel staff badly, like whether it be like hotel staff or you go into like whether it be like a barista, or like even if you go into like retail and they're just like yelling at the retail customers because they didn't, retail employees because they didn't get their order right or whatnot. Like, why would you do that? That person, I've worked in retail and as a barista or a coffee connoisseur, if you will, in Dunkin', and I know the stuff that people have to deal with over there because I fucking worked there. Like, it's wrong the way those employees are treated, because they're just students. They're for some of these people, it's their first job. Obviously, they're not going to know how to get everything right 100% of the time. Like, you can't just walk in and be like, hey, I don't know how to fucking make coffee, but you didn't make mine right. Like, no, that's just wrong. Like, treat them with respect. And a little plus on let me stop having a stroke for a second and think straight for a minute. There's another benefit to this, because if you take somebody out on a date, or like if you're just talking to one of your friends, if you see them treating like employees badly, that's a big red flag, like a huge red flag. Like, I'm talking freaking full on China red flag. Like, barely any yellow in there, or full Soviet Union red flag with a little hammer and sickle in there, because like, that's just wrong. It's because like, they have nothing to gain from that employee, and that's why they're treating that person poorly. So that is kind of a red flag, in the sense that, maybe once they don't have anything to gain from you, they might treat you the same way. Big red flag. So just keep stuff like that in mind. Those people are working their asses off. I know some people in retail that work 2 jobs, 40 plus hours a week, barely get any sleep, and then the next morning they're still like out and about, ready to go at it again. And then, if you appreciate stuff like that, every now and then, if you're going to get coffee, leave a little tip, or like leave a little compliment, like, thank you so much for helping me out, just compliment them and whatnot. That you would be surprised at how much that means to them, because those people just deal with miserable customers 85% of the time, and then that last 15% that actually compliments them and like lets them know that they're doing a good job, that is the whole reason that they deal with the other 85% of the customers. Because like, some customers are so appreciative that you're like, you know what, maybe I am doing a good job. Fuck what Margaret said. I'm doing a good job, and I fucking know it because Bethany said that I am doing a good job, Just stuff like that, just leave a tip, tell me they did a good job if possible. And like, I understand everybody can't tip, but don't be that one guy that drives a Ferrari and then you get like, 25 cents back in change from your order, and you can't even leave that as a tip because you're like, haha, well, you gotta earn your way there, bucko. You see that Ferrari right there? I'm gonna go bang my supermodels in the back now. But yeah, earn your way there, no shortcut. See this quarter right there? I wouldn't even spit in your tip jar if I could. And then, just don't be that guy. If you can afford to leave a tip, please leave a tip. And if you can't leave a tip for some reason, just give them a compliment and tell them thank you so much, appreciate what they're doing, because stuff like that goes a long way. And so yeah, so that's kind of where I want to wrap up and leave off. If you liked this episode where it's just pretty much me ranting about things I don't like, hey, maybe in the future, if you guys want, I can do an episode of things I do like, and kind of change of pace a little bit, But obviously, let me know down in the comments below what you guys think, if you like this series, and if you'd like to see more of it, any future topics, if you'd even like to be a guest on the show. Hey, be my guest. Get it? But yeah, be if you'd like to appear on the show, be a guest, talk about whatever you want. Trust me, I will talk about anything you want. If it's one of your passions, I'll make it one of my passions. I'll talk about anything you guys want. But yeah, let me know if you'd like to be on the show, be on the podcast, not the show. I'm talking like a talk show host now. But hey, hopefully, in the future, maybe I might be one. I don't know. But yeah, anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe for more of this stuff. Go check out my other videos. I will catch you all later. Peace.